Good evening, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. We've come to the last session of the day. Thank you for still have the energy and and be with us for the last session. Thank you very much for your precious time. I know it's very late, but I hope you can enjoy the discussion today with us. On this session, we will learn from our renowned speakers who are going to share the successful model and initiatives in encouraging local community to optimize and develop new and renewable energy for daily use and, of course, the economic activities. To start with, I cordially invite Dr. Zahrul Mutakin. He's the forestry attaché from Indonesia Embassy in Tokyo, Japan. Over to you, Pak.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mbak Mona. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining the last, but of course, very important session today. I can see that you are still full of enthusiasm and also energized, of course, to participate in, okay? First of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Muhammad Zahrul Mutakin. I'm a forestry attaché in the Indonesian Embassy in Tokyo. Yeah, I belong, of course, to the Ministry of Environment and Forestry. That's why I'm here. Yes, this evening we will talk about the role of community in energy transition. Yes, the stakeholders that very important to be involved if we have to succeed the energy transition, of course. And we have to consider one of our goals in sustainable development goals, which is no one left behind, of course. Therefore, without further ado, I would like to invite Mr. Haris Yahya, the Director of Geothermal, Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources, Republic of Indonesia, to deliver his keynote speech for this session. Please, Pak Harif, floor is yours.
Yeah. Before deliver the speech, I would like to thank, and I use Bahasa, because today I think the last event is very interesting. We're talking about the JETP, but the most important is how to implement the JETP in the real implementation in Indonesia, because we really need it. Energy transition is one of the way to speed up our energy implementation, and then not only to fulfill the demand, but also to make it more green. Yeah. Allow me. Thank you very much for this opportunity. So, Excellencies, representative of ministry, and then also agencies from invited countries, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, speaker participant, and good evening. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yeah, first of all, I would like to convey my deepest appreciation to Pertamina, yes, for the organizing this event and invite us to deliver the keynote. So, as we already know that Indonesia is committed to do the energy transition, as we already talking today, is a very good part of our effort, and then we hope that we can continue to develop and this kind of progress that we already have. Please allow me to deliver my short keynote speech to share about the government support for energy transition activities in society. So, please, the next, please. Yeah, let me emphasize that based on the Constitution, energy development should be aimed for the welfare of Indonesian citizens, in line with the four is principle: availability, affordability, acceptability, and accessibility, as well as trilemma energy to ensure energy security, energy equity, and environmental sustainability. Thus, we expect that the renewable energy, clean technology, as well as energy efficiency will be our way forward in energy sector development in the future. Indonesia is blessed up to 3,680 gigawatt potential of various renewable energy, which are available to be utilized to meet the national energy demand in the future. New renewable energy potential include hydro, solar, wind, bioenergy, and also geothermal. Currently, the installed capacity of renewable energy power plant has been increased to 12.7 gigawatt, and Indonesia will accelerate new renewable energy deployment to meet the target 23% of new renewable energy share by 2025, enhance nationally determined contribution target, and then also by 2030, and also to achieve net zero emission target by 2060 or sooner. Next. The government have done several programs to improve the energy access for all. Since 2011, government have developed many renewable energy projects in remote area and isolated grid. The project consists of microhydro, solar PV, biogas, power storage device, and municipal waste power plant. Government has successfully increased the electrification ratio from 73% in 2011 to 99.7% by 2023. And the government and PLN also has a diesel conversion program to reduce our dependency to diesel, as well as reduce the CO2 emission. The program aims to replace 5,200 of existing diesel power plant in more than 200 remote area with the renewable project, conversion to gas, and interconnect to the grid. Next. Some of the solar PV project and power storage device that have been developed in rural area, mostly in the eastern part of Indonesia. Applying this principle would ensure that no one will be left behind in the clean energy development. And furthermore, providing energy access should provide opportunities in improving public welfare. Next, please. The government also has been promoting the use of biogas through various programs, namely a Ministerial of Energy budget, biogas rumah, special allocation fund, and private development. There are more than 50,000 to 50,002 biogas units that have been developed so far. Communal biogas installation process a human waste to be used as a biogas as a substitute for LPG and for lighting. The benefit of this communal biogas program include saving on cooking costs, reducing the dependency on fossil energy and also LPG import, and reducing greenhouse gas emission. Next, please. Another one of renewable energy is geothermal project. Geothermal projects also can bring multiplier impact to the local community. With this characteristic, a geothermal project can have many other purpose and benefit beyond the electricity generation. The excess heat from the electricity power generation also can be used for such as hydrogen production, mineral extraction, heat industry, district heating, and also tourism activities. In many direct use applications, small, medium industry players can also utilize the geothermal heat to stimulate various economic activities for the local pupil. Therefore, geothermal energy can contribute more in decarbonizing many sectors and develop green economy. Next, please. The development of renewable project has always been in synergy with the conservation forest area and environmental protection. Several collaboration between Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources, Ministry of Environment and Forestry, and the renewable project developer have been established to maintain the natural biodiversity around the renewable project area. Among others, Tapanuli Pongo House for orang hutan ecosystem in Batang Toru hydropower plant, Eagle Conservation Center in Kamojang geothermal field by Pertamina geothermal energy, community-based conservation program in Darajat geothermal field, and Green Corridor Initiative program in Gunung Salak geothermal field. So next, please. We believe that new renewable energy optimum utilization will be carried out with the spirit of pentahelix, which highlight robust collaboration of all stakeholders, including state-owned enterprises and private, academia, media, government, as well as society or association. And the role of private sector is very important, like we already identified in the previous meeting. And given the limited resource of the government, the private sector can assist in providing investment, conducting business activity, business of new renewable energy generating and green fuels, supporting services, encouraging innovation and technology, creating jobs, contributing to state revenue and economic activities. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and participants, I sincerely hope that through this forum, we can have a fruitful discussion to identify concrete programs and activities in order to encourage the local community and green economy. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Pak Haris, for the inspiring talk about the Indonesian government supports to energy transition activities in the society, as well as considering the ecosystem in Indonesia. Now we move on to the panel discussion about how communities take a significant role in securing the energy needs using the renewable energy options. And we have three distinguished speakers here. I would like to invite them to come to the stage. First, Mr. Brahmantia S. Purwadi, the Corporate Secretary of PT Pertamina Persero, the largest oil and gas state-owned enterprises in Indonesia. Please, Pak. Second, I invite my longtime friend, Ms. Monica Tanuhandaru, the chairperson of Yayasan Bambu Lingkungan Lestari. Please, Pak, come to the stage. And last but not least, please come to the stage, Ms. Ilina Stefanova, Program Officer for International Renewable Energy Agency, or IRENA. Okay. Thank you, Pak Brahmantia, Mbak Monica, and also Elina for being with us to share your works, of course, and ideas on how community be involved in energy transition strategies. And all of you, you will have 10 minutes each for presentation, and then we move on to the Q&A. And then first, I would like to invite Pak Brahmantia to talk about the community empowerment conducted by PT Pertamina. And then please, Pak, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Distinguished guests, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. The good word to describe the community on the climate change is we confirm that there will be no one left behind. Of course, Pertamina as the biggest energy company in Indonesia, convey that actually we have strong roles in the carrying out of company sustainability, social and environment responsibility to the community. With the spirit of energizing sustainable community, Pertamina and the community work together to build an independency in conserving environment, energy, and social economic. And all these activity are to support government target and also SDGs. With the several program, at least we have three biggest program right now. The first is in Pertamina Independent Energy Village. The second is Tourism Village, which run by communities. And the third is Pertamina Forest. Next, please. We have Pertamina Green Business Initiative to support government in achieving net zero emission by 2060 or earlier. We have company big, bold strategies. The first is the carbonization of operation with the green power generation. The second is new low carbon business with, of course, Pertamina is a fuel and energy company with the biofuel and new and renewable energy development. The third is carbon offset. We are actively in the market also. We have Pertamina Geothermal Energy as a private company, as a open company right now to deal with the carbon market business, CCS and CCUS services, nature and ecosystem-based solution. Pertamina continues to strive to develop green business with a target that by 2060, at least, we can reduce between 25 or 30 million tons CO2 equivalent per year. Next, please. Pertamina provides access, of course, to the new and renewable energy to the community and rural community surrounded our operation. For the energy independence and also community economic in line with supporting sustainable development goals. Number 4, education. Point number 7, clean and affordable energy. Point number 8, decent work and economic growth. And not but not least, point 13, attacking or tackling the climate change. For these years, until end of 2023, we have 76 program running, which include 57 solar panel program, 12 biogas program and gas methane utilization, 4 microhydro programs, 2 program for utilizing waste into biodiesel, and 1 wind and solar hybrid program, which impacting the society. More than 4,000 heads of families are program beneficiaries. Increase the social economy by 2 billion rupiah per year, around 700,000 tons CO2 equivalent per year carbon emission reduction, which also energy produced from new and renewable energy facilities such as 287,000 watts peak per year from the solar panel, microhydro and wind, 609,000 metric per year from biogas and methane gas, and 6,500 liters years from the biodiesel. Next slide. On the Pertamina Independent Village program, we have one good example in Desa Kliki. Desa Kliki is located in Ubud, in Bali. With this program, Pertamina utilizing new and renewable energy using solar panel with use for waste management operation and also supporting community fund security by supplying water. If you ever go to Bali, we have Subak. Currently, they have a problem in mobilizing the irrigation by Subak. By our solar panel, this program can be successful to increase the paddy field plantation for them. The resulting of this impact is installed by the solar panel, the total of 28 kilowatt peak with electricity cost saving at least 60 million per year, with 1,000 beneficiaries from its local people, and can process organic and unorganic waste in Desa Kliki area around 180 tons per year. Next, please. Second, we have also the tourism program. The tourism program that involved in this Pertamina program is to encourage strengthening community skills and capacity in managing sustainable tourism. Within this case, Pertamina also support the government in targeting of the super priority tourism destination program. This program has managed 794 homestays, 30 craft of SMEs, and 30 food and beverage of small and medium enterprises. The tourism village program impacting on the community, including the economic increase of the community itself of 600 million rupiah per year and more than 5,500 beneficiaries. Next slide. We have also Balkondes. Balkondes is actually a tourism village center which supported by the community, which in this case is the program of village economic center is in Borobudur in Central Java. With this program, Pertamina fosters the community in managing the village economic center based on renewable energy. And also this program impacting at least 600 million rupiah per year and more than 5,500 beneficiaries. This Balkondes is actually currently have been visited more than 6,000 tourists per year. Next. We have also Pertamina Forestry. We need to make sure that abandoned land, critical land are evolving and are to be rebuilt by our program. Pertamina Forest is step taken by Pertamina to support the Indonesia government in mitigating climate change and offer critical land in Indonesia. Not only planting the sea, we are focusing on mangrove. As we know, that actually Indonesia has 17,504 islands, and we have like coastal community. We need this program to be leading in our Pertamina program. The program impacting on the more than planting 6 million trees, including mangrove, which can absorb carbon emission around 120,000 tons of CO2 equivalent per year. More than 4,500 beneficiaries and increasing the community economy at least 1.8 billion per year. We have also the good example of Pertamina Forestry program is in Segara Anakan, Cilacap. Why Segara Anakan? Pertamina has the finest, newest, and the greener refinery in Cilacap in Central Java. One of the implementation is in this location because we see this location have a reduction of the mangrove area due to the conversion of mangrove area into aquaculture, which has impacting on reducing number of marine species and also causing an abrasion. Currently, this program Pertamina is successful to restore mangrove cover area, and there are community economic effort in the form of managing educational tourism location and small medium enterprise product from mangrove and also from the fisheries. The last page is on the key takeaway. Next, please. On the key takeaway. Okay. The forestry is done. Okay. On the last page, I would say that Pertamina is aimed to leverage the social project for sustainable and equitable energy transition nationwide, as well as to create added value for Pertamina business while simultaneously fostering social economic benefit for local community. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pak Brahmantia, for your inspiring works by Pertamina. This is you know, this is the real action of the Pertamina
Thank you,
on the
Pak.
ground that can be, it's like in promoting communities take an important role in the implementing of energy transition on the ground. Okay. Next, Mbak Monica will present her works in promoting community-based bamboo industries, considering bamboo as an abundant resource in Indonesia archipelago and very close to villages. Mbak Monica, the floor is yours, Mbak.
First of all, thank you for the opportunities and also for the audience who is staying until 7 to listen to this panel. I wanted to give my appreciation to Pertamina. I want to share the story a little bit. When Pertamina says we want to work with bamboo, I said, what? What? That was my first reaction with the team. Bertanya-tanya, kenapa nih? Kenapa bambu dan Pertamina tertarik? So I wanted to give my appreciation because this is a long time. As bamboo is part of our culture. Yeah. Next slide. And bamboo is part of our culture. It has an environmental benefit. It has a social benefit. And last, it also has an economic benefit. Right? So when we talk about bamboo, we talk about the past, the present, and the future. And when Pertamina said, we want to build something on bamboo, and I said, what do you want to build on bamboo? Biomass, biofuel, bioenergy, or we want to build something for the future, which is all of that. As a natural source of material or nature-based solution. So bamboo can become biofuel, biomass, but also bamboo is the future timber. It was the timber of the past, but is now the timber of the future. So then we talked about restorative economy. Pertamina contributes to the restorative economy, the initial restorative economy, the start of restorative economy. What is restorative economy? The core concept is we want to harmonize growth and also environmental stewardship. We also want to look at the balance of economic growth, but also the balance with environmental protection and sustainability. And I think bamboo is one of the solutions. I'm not saying this is a silver bullet for sustainability, but bamboo is a solution. In the upstream, we do have bamboo forest. We have about 176 bamboo species in Indonesia. We have about 1,600 bamboo species in the world, 176 bamboo species to date found in Indonesia. Each bamboo has different function in the society. Some use it for roofing, some use it for food, some use it for structure, building structure, some use it for farming, some use it for fences, so some use it for music, some use it for different kinds of use of bamboo. So what are the key focus? Participatory development in leveraging these day-to-day lives of the people using bamboo. The downstream of bamboo, we can use it for food, building material, but also bioenergy. Next, can we have a... Next. 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 So what are the outcome of our collaboration with Pertamina? One is we have a knowledge bank, which basically we have a one map platform. Next. So we're developing a one map platform, which actually inclusive to all the vegetation and planting, yeah, including ecological mapping and also community engagement. Yeah. We have an interim knowledge bank that we place in the open source. We call Restore. So when you look at the map, it's an open source. We can look at every villages and the status of the bamboo. Now we have a request, please also map other vegetation. So from planting bamboo and mapping bamboo, now we are asked to also map other vegetation in the village. But we also look at carbon storage. We're also looking at biodiversity. So if you go into EBF website, you can open one map, and in one map, you can go to Restore. Next. This is our work area. We work in West Kalimantan, East Java, Bali, East Nusa Tenggara. Next. We also conduct community-based monitoring. We actively work with women only in the start, and then the men would join and participate. And it's actually very rewarding, from making bamboo seedlings, planting, and harvesting. Next. I wanted to raise this issue about the impact on working with women and the women only. It's actually the impact on gender relation. There is, as you know, in most of these villages, women are invisible. They are voiceless, they're not acknowledged, or their role is just reproductive role, but also helpers in the family. So since we work with women, and of course the men in the family, there are a family unit dynamics. Women to start being acknowledged in the house. Women have voices in the house because the women have knowledge and income. And then they're also heard and have voices in their family and their clan. Next, they also have a acknowledge in the community or in the village. And then they also are heard at the village level. They have an influence at the village level. And then next, they also have decision to make in the use of their income. Whether they want it to use to support the family, the food in the house, they want to support the children's study or school, they want to buy land, or they want to plant other food crops or other crops. So in terms of this gender relations, we're able to, it's a game changer basically. Empowering the women with bamboo in the village, it is a game changer. Next. Now, where are we working with Pertamina? We're working in green mobility and green energy. Next. So what is the collaboration with Pertamina? I get a question, what is Yayasan Bambu Lestari working with Pertamina? So the collaboration is we work with, one, creating an affordable bamboo bicycle. The material is made out of bamboo, 100%. And we're campaigning for green mobility. So the bamboo bicycle becomes an ambassador for green mobility. And also, of course, I'm not I'm not undermining electric vehicle, but I think bicycle is still the best green mobility until we can process the battery. We're also looking at the potential for renewable energy. Is it possible for bamboo and other vegetation to be the source of community-based renewable energy? Meaning, we're not going to be practicing plantation-based, but we're practicing community-based renewable energy. That's in the collaboration. Next is the innovation. With the help of Pertamina, we established a new design, bike to school, or GoSeko, Goes ke Sekolah. It's an affordable bamboo bike that every children can have, yeah, their dream bike. GoSeko will be sold 5 million rupiah, but if other people wants to sponsor a child to have his dream bike, they buy one and they get two. Beli satu dapat dua. So that other bike will go to a child that wants or dream of having a bike. As you know, the transportation, the school is free, but the transportation to go to school for a child is not free. That is mostly in the village, that is costly for a family. For a child to go to school, it's not the school, it's the transportation from home to school. Now, what we're trying to do is actually later this, end of this year or early this next year, we want to distribute some of the bicycle for children to choose the children that the house is far from school. Then they can get a bicycle. And then in the initiative, EBF is also launching Kayu Untuk Bumi, or pedal for the earth. It's a global campaign on bamboo bicycle. We did the Paris, 1,200 kilometers with a bamboo bike. We also did the Japan Odyssey, 3,000 kilometers endurance ride for 12 days with a bamboo bicycle. Next. This is the high-end bamboo bicycle. So you know, we didn't manage to bring in the bicycle, but the bicycle is in here in Dubai. Next. This is another source this is a timber alternative. We built a campus in Flores, in Ngada. The middle one is the campus in Labuan Bajo. And the right one is like the new building in Labuan Bajo. This is 100% made out of bamboo. The campus is called campus because everything that we want to learn about bamboo agroecology is in this campus. Next. So what's the future outlook like for this collaboration? Biomass for electricity generation, bamboo for bioethanol production, sustainable energy cycle, and the last is community involvement and economic impact. I think this is new, not for EBF or Pertamina, but this is relatively new for the world. This initiative has taken or has started with India and Finland. They started to establish a biofuel made from bamboo with the bamboo that has no economic value. So I think with the 12 million hectares of degraded land in Indonesia, I think there is potential for us to restore the degraded land with a safeguard, without the conversion of a forest. We should prevent deforestation. We should just plant bamboo, 20%, and the rest should be other plants, other crops. It's not a monoculture. This is the safeguard that we have to put up front. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Mbak Monica, for inspiring work by Environmental Bamboo Foundation. Then you can see that so many initiatives, that also the idea to be done by the Environmental Bamboo Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, we have heard some examples from Indonesia about how real action have been done on the ground and how Indonesia can lead by examples to inspire the world. Community-based energy transition, of course. Now, I would like to invite Irina Stefanova from IRENA to talk about the role of communities in the international scale that might connect to the works that have been done in Indonesia. Please, Irina,
Thank you.
the time is yours.
Thank you so much. My name is Elena Stefanova. I'm IRENA Coalition for Action Team Lead. And I'm very happy to join this discussion today and let you know more about what IRENA is doing in terms of promoting community energy, sharing this knowledge, good practices, and making sure that community energy has its role in energy transition. So before I start my presentation, I would like to very quickly guide you through the Coalition for Action. You know that IRENA is intergovernmental organization, so it is mostly communicating with ministers, with government, but the coalition is also making sure that the voice of the non-governmental stakeholders, the private sector, is also getting its seat at the table. So it was established almost 10 years ago. It currently brings together more than 140 energy players in the renewables field. We have big businesses, small businesses, think tanks. We have international organizations, civil society members. So we have a very diverse group of actors with whom we are discussing the energy transition, making sure we are approaching sustainable development goal 7 together. And we also have the buy-in of the non-governmental stakeholders, because 75% of the investments in energy transition are actually coming from the private sector. So we have to make sure that we have the private sector, the non-governmental stakeholders, the communities engaged in that. Could you please go to the next slide? So yeah, we established a community energy working group a few years ago when we realized the role of the importance of the community energy, but mostly sharing this knowledge and experiences that we hear from different parts of the world and bringing it together. So together with the group, we developed several papers. First was about community energy benefits and the ownership. The second one delved into more about the financial aspects. And the third one, that is the most recent one, brings different community energy examples from diverse places, presenting those scenarios and those business models as a impetus for other communities to continue to develop renewable energy projects. If you can move to the next slide, please. So yeah, community energy is crucial for the inclusive and just transition. So beyond the local socio-economic benefits, it grants the communities with autonomy. It fosters positive attitude towards renewable energy and gets additional support for the transition. So there are a wide range of approaches for community energy development that are found around the world. So examples include community projects that grant access in areas where such access is missing, or community-led projects supplying renewable energy to the grid, but also providing other energy services, and partnerships with like the traditional energy players like the utility, but also the local authorities, private sector developers. So this diversity also reflects the different environment, the different setting where these community energy projects are born. And it's very challenging to identify one set of best practices. So that's why we decided that dissemination of good case studies, actually illustrating best practices around the globe, would promote renewable energy. So if you can move to the next slide, please. So we are convinced that the community energy brings plenty of benefits, and it also ensures that those benefits are spread equally and widely across the society. And IRENA has always put a strong emphasis on socio-economic benefits, because we believe that the renewable energy discussion has to go beyond the technologies, beyond the profits. It also has to discuss what good it brings to the communities, how the communities would prosper with the help of renewable energy. And if you can go to the next slide, please. So firstly, we have several key socio-economic considerations that we have. So firstly, energy transition only be successful when it has broad public support. And it would get broad public support when we are ensuring that the community perceives these projects as just. So one is the procedural justice that actually gives the foundation of all the procedures that are, so the community is considered treated fairly. In terms of the planning process, in terms of the decision-making process, those processes need to be fair, they have to be impartial, and they have to make sure that they consider all the different voices. Also, in terms of the distributional justice, it actually means that all the benefits of the community energy, all the resources, the cost and the benefits are distributed across the society equitably. And in addition, restorative justice requires that damage is restored, or even better, harm is prevented. And I think that previous panelists also touched upon this topic. And the most important, I think, is the trust that is built between the stakeholders. And with the participation of the local stakeholders, actually, and renewable energy is accepted more broadly. And it provides it gives the role of the citizens to participate in that. So from the social acceptance, we have to move to the action on the ground, and make sure that local energy projects are also considered in terms of well-being, socio-economic value creation and employment, and healthy natural environment. So community energy can maximize these benefits and give right incentives for these combined goals of increased renewable energy generation on one hand, but also energy efficiency and affordability. And I think one of the most important aspects of the renewable energy, which also the previous panelists touched upon, is the empowerment it gives to the people. And I think Monica explained it very, very nicely, that the role of the women in energy communities is growing. So currently, the traditional fossil fuel sector only has around 20-21% of women's participation. The renewable energy already gives, the average percentage is already 32. In solar energy, it's almost 40. And we are also happy to see more women at the drive seat of these community energy projects, because this is actually a great chance for them to work and to participate actively in their community life. So if you can jump on the next slide, please. I would like also to touch upon this of the topic of the prosperity. According to IRENA, the annual investments in renewable energy has to increase 4 times. Actually, today, 118 countries here signed a pledge a global renewable pledge that, and they are committed to tripling the installed renewable capacity. So basically, it also requires more than 4 times increasing the investments. And it's not only in the renewable energy capacities, but also in the supporting infrastructure, in the training, in the building the skills. So what community energy could bring is basically not so much in terms of investments, because most of the projects are small scale, but it could bring a lot in terms of the local benefits for the society. Needless to say, areas where energy access is missing, which are currently more than 700 million people in the world are missing access to electricity, and 2.3 billion are missing clean energy for cooking. I think it's a no-brainer that community energy can bridge this gap and develop projects that would benefit those who have no access. And can you go to the next slide, please? So yeah, and I would like to finally touch upon the benefits that the community energy brings to the planet. So we need to ensure that this energy does not replicate the fossil fuel destructive policies and patterns, and make sure that we need to be smart on how we are localizing energy projects and also the associated infrastructure. We need to be sure that it maximizes minimizing the impact on nature areas and wildlife and productive agricultural lands. And so energy, for example, located on former mine lands can revitalize community, and local knowledge here is the key to avoid land conflicts and developing projects in line with shared values, but also with cultural identity and with the connection of the nature that is within the community. So I would like to go to my last slide and come up with the recommendations. So, yes, this one, please. So community energy and citizens' involvement should be given more prominent role in the national energy plans, and we really hope to see the community energy getting into more NDCs in the coming years. It is essential to reduce the complexity and create enabling and non-discriminatory policy framework. Also, we need to simplify the community energy. We have to make it one-stop shop and build awareness and capacity building. And as previously said, the community energy has to make sure that it provides equal opportunity for the representation of men and women, but also youth and marginalized communities. Access to finance is also should be facilitated, acknowledging the specific risk profile of such projects that are very often small scale. So public funds need to be channeled towards de-risking community energy and making it viable for more vulnerable households. And I mentioned previously that the planning process is very important, making sure that the socio-economic benefits are maximized and environmental impact is minimized. Local knowledge has to be integrated, and efforts need to be taken in terms of bridging the gap and making sure that energy access is provided for those who are mostly needed. And at the end of the day, I would like to stress again on the international cooperation. There's so many good examples that are currently existing in different communities, and even though there's no one-size-fitting-all, there's still a lot of good takeaways that could be derived from those projects. So I would like to end up with my last slide and invite you to join the Coalition for Action, join us for discussion on sustainable energy future. Thank you very much, and looking forward to a very successful discussion.
Thank you, Elena, for sharing the IRENA's Coalition for Action, and I think it's a big idea that might lead to the more consolidated works for at the community level across the world, and we can see that there is also some connection between what we have done in Indonesia and what the idea of the IRENA's coalition action. Now, we have still a couple of minutes for question and answer. I invite one response from floor, if there is any. No, then I will be raising a burning question for all the speakers. Yeah. Yes. I would like to have your immediate responses about the challenges, as well as strategies to address the challenges in enhancing the participation of communities in using renewable energy, in fulfilling the energy needs, or in utilizing the resources. So please, how do you respond to the challenges that you are facing now, and how strategy you will be taken to address that challenges? Please, Pak.
Thank you for the question. Actually, the key to answer on that question is on collaboration. The good thing that Elina, Monica has already mentioned, everything is true and we need to follow that. In case of our big program like Pertamina Energy Villages, we see that next year we will plan big, that more than 100 villages is starting to be like to collaborate with Pertamina. But we are not alone, Pak. We need other people. We see that this program can also be joined with the college student, like with the fellowship that before they graduate, mostly they have 1 year to serve as community development in several locations. In that case, we start to doing with the university in Indonesia, which surrounded our operation location, Pak. And of course, collaborative also need the support from the government. Government rules need to be addressed actually because Indonesia is island country. I managed to speak before. We have two big challenges. First is geographically challenges, as we have 1,000 islands. And secondly, we have demographic challenges. Almost 57% people in Indonesia lives in Java Island. For Pertamina, is care to conserve and to coordinate with community is because we are having like supply chain through all Indonesia location, Pak. Therefore, collaborative action and also the good and best big regulation in order to make that happen is very important, Pak. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Pramantia. So, Mbak Monica, could you add some idea?
I think the challenges is to address the challenges. I'm going to say the challenges first. The challenges is coordination. Second challenges is policy. There's no policies that fits all. Policies that is cross-sectoral, horizontally, policies that is vertical, crossing national, province, kabupaten, sub-district, and desa and villages. Each have their own policies. Each have their own authorities. Then we also have, at national level, we have different ministries, different policies. And they're not synchronized. And they don't support each other. I think, well, this is the result of this is the result of democracy. Each area have their own authority. Okay, that's the challenges. Second is what is explained with Mr. Tio that geographically challenging. Logistic and transportation infrastructure is challenging. If 57% of Indonesian lives in one island in Java, and the rest is spread out in small islands, small numbers, what type of renewable energy that fits small islands? Is it solar panel? Is it small biomass power plant, community-based? Is it, hydropower? Is it geothermal? The cost of these renewable energy, who is going to pay for it? I think Pak Director have explained earlier who is going to pay for the extra cost. Earlier, he presented in his keynote speech funding, incentives. These two, I think, is part of the discussion within JETP. How do we address that? What we're trying to do is to set an example in one island, in Flores. I already explained to Pertamina, let's try to do Flores or NTT, and let's do it right. We address those challenges, coordination amongst cross-sectors, stakeholders, coordination between government agencies, coordination at province, at national, at province, at district, and at the village level. Is there possibility for example, community contributions or village contributions? We have village governance, we have village budget. We also have hutan desa, village forest. Can that be utilized? So it's not a concession only, but it's also community-based bamboo forest, bamboo agroforestry. Is that possible? So now, in the next phase of our collaboration with Pertamina, is to look at these possibilities, maybe for the next 1 or 2 years. Can we provide to the size that is possible for Pertamina larger investment? Can, the whatever, CSR or funds or other funding from FOLU, NetSync, provided by the ministry, by the Indonesian Environmental Trust Fund, with Pertamina and with other state-owned company. Let's start from one province and one island, the island of Flores, and let's try to do it right. What I'm trying to say is, Pak Syahrul, we don't want it to be scattered, so we can focus, and it is smart. It's measurable. And we can also create a short-term, medium, and long-term goal and impact of the collaboration. What we like to see is actually NTT, the East Nusa Tenggara province, to be a net zero province by 2030 or 2035. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mbak Monica. It looks like you already provide a policy brief to Pak Haris Yahya. Anyway. Okay, then, Ilina, it's your turn to speak.
I won't keep you waiting. I just want to add something to what my previous fellow panelists mentioned. So, again, de-risking the project, access to finance, and recognition of these projects into the national legislations. What we discovered when we were diving deeper into community-based projects, into agri-voltaics, for example, or agri-renewables, is that usually the project promoters, the project developers need to go to several different institutions. And imagine if it's a small community, it doesn't have the capacity to circle around different institutions who are not talking to each other. So yeah, this is the collaboration that you actually mentioned, but it needs to be like governed. There has to be some overarching regulation that brings together, because these projects are beneficial for both for agribusiness and for the energy business, but it is not somehow, it is like this is a missing link that I think it's worth for the developing. So yeah, de-risking and simplifying the procedures is something that I would say is the most challenging. And I would like to end up with something that I find fascinating in the community energy projects, because we had quite a few good examples where the decision-making process within the community energy project is very democratic, and each of the participants has an equal voting right regardless of the financial contribution. So I think this is actually a very good example, and in practice, how the community energy is really about the society and the benefits, and not about the real like monetary profit that this energy actually brings. So this is from my side. I won't keep you longer. Thank you so much. And,
Thank you. Thank you very much. Applause for all the distinguished speakers that already explained the good idea and also the best practices on the ground. So before we close this session, I think we already heard about the importance of collaboration that need to be consolidated and also need to be strengthened at the local, national, and even at the international level. And the second, of course, the overarching policy. So we talk about this one, the takeaways, but then the homework will be on Pak Haris Yahya. So thank you very much for your participation. And again, applause for all the speakers and all of us for being here in the last session of today. So I return the session to Mbak Mona. Please, Mbak Mona.
Happy weekend.